tune into any conversation about mental illness and addiction, it will be long before the term stigma comes up. Stigma has various definitions, but they all refer to the negative belief, attitude, or behavior. Stigma can translate into unfair, disrespectful, or discriminatory pattern in the way we think, talk, or feel about people experiencing mental illness. People with mental illness do not just suffer the signs and symptoms from their mental illness, but they also suffer from the stigma and rejection attached to mental illness in our society. This increases their recovery time and also prevents them from seeking medical attention. Where prejudice comes from is a complicated question. It is almost like asking where differences in racial prejudice, political views, religious preferences, etc. come from. It turns out that we are influenced by our friends, environment, our culture, the books we read. Rather than focus on where stigma comes from, it is better to focus on what it is, when it occurs, and how to stop it. How do we become more aware of mental illness? It is easier to look at ourselves first before trying to change the world. So here is a quick self-assessment test on stigma and mental illness. Answer true or false to each of the following questions. Be honest with yourself. No one needs to know the answer. Number 1. I would be scared if my daughter or sibling is getting married to someone suffering from mental illness. I have made fun of someone suffering from mental illness in the past. I have used the term crazy or retarded for someone suffering from mental illness. I am scared of a co-worker suffering from mental illness. People with mental illness do not recover. The scoring is very simple. 1 point for each question answered correctly. Unless your score is 0, you've had thoughts, feelings, or behavior which can contribute to increased stigma towards mental illness. Now that you've done a quick self-check and perhaps believe that there is room for improvement in the way we think or talk about people suffering from mental illness, why don't you become an advocate to reduce the stigma towards mental illness in your own backyard? The steps are very simple and requires very little effort. Here are 5 simple steps you can do as a new stigma fighter. 1. Do not label people with mental illness. Do not say he is bipolar, she is schizophrenic. People are people and not their diagnosis. Instead, you say he has a bipolar condition. She has schizophrenia. This is far more respectful because it shows that people are not defined by their illness. 2. Do not be afraid of people with mental illness, though sometimes they display unusual behavior when their condition is severe. People with mental illness aren't more violent than the general public. In fact, they are more likely to be victims of violence. Do not fall victim or prey to inaccurate stereotypes from movies like The Disturbed Killer or The Weird Co-worker. 3. Do not use disrespectful terms for people with mental illness like that's my OCD or she's so borderline. 4. Do not be insensitive or blame someone with mental illness. It will be silly to tell someone to get over cancer. Same applies to mental illness. Watch your word. 5. Be a role model. Stigma is fueled by lack of awareness and inaccurate information. Model these stigma reducing strategies through your own comments and behavior, and politely teach them to your friends, co-workers, loved ones, and families. Spread the word that treatment works and that recovery is possible. Changing attitude takes time, but repetition is key. So keep getting the word out to bring a positive shift in the way we treat people with mental illness. Former President Bill Clinton once said, "Mental illness is nothing to be ashamed of, but stigma and bias shame us all." Take these few steps to create a stigma-free and conducive society for all. Still your girl, Spunky Chii. Bye.